How's it going, guys? My name is Will Ramos. I do vocals for LORNA SHORE, and you are watching Metalshop TV. This last year for us has been insane. We've done some of the biggest tours that we have ever done, ever. Like, we've never played in front of so many people. At one point it felt like, you know, playing in front of 1,000 people was so much, you know, and then we did like Gojira Mastodon, we had Parkway Drive, and you know, these rooms are so big and it's so inspiring. It's like, I hope that we could just keep going up, you know what I mean? This last year has been amazing. So far, the response to the latest album wasn't bad, honestly. Like, we get some people who are just like, meh, but I love that people are just really, you know, grasping onto it and feeling like emotions, you know what I mean? Because a lot of people, especially like in the metal world, sometimes they don't feel, you know, as much as they want. And I have people come up to me all the time, it's like, dude, this music has saved us. Like, thank you so much for everything you do. And that keeps me like excited to keep going, you know what I mean? So positive interaction so far, and that's the only thing I'm paying attention to anyway. I can't say for sure. Definitely not this year, actually. We're not going to have any music ready for a little while. But that being said, like, we are always writing. We have when I'm alone, I'm writing on my phone half the time. You know, I write like 1 billion ideas down. I know the rest of the dudes are doing their own version of that on their instrument. So I mean, we're brainstorming it, but it's still very far away. So at the time being, we're just going to keep playing Painter Mains and hope people still like it. Oh, it was incredible. I'm gonna tell you, like, every single night when we finished playing, which was like early in the day, that's the best. If you're a touring guy, you know, playing in the early morning is sometimes, you know, bad, but it's also good because now you get to relax the rest of the day. And so what did we do when we relaxed? We watched Gojira and Mastodon, like, literally every other day. We've seen them so many times. I listen to Gojira, you know, not as much as some of my friends have, but they would tell me that, dude, Gojira is like my favorite band I've listened to for my entire life. And I was like, oh my God. And then it was like, yo, I thought Mastodon was from like the 80s. They're from like the early 2000s. And everybody is so nice. So everybody was nice. Everybody killed it. I love Gojira now. Like, they are insane. They remind me of In Flames, which is my other favorite band, my actual favorite band. But yeah, those guys are incredible. The whole tour was amazing. I'm more of a Gojira guy because I don't really listen to too much like psychedelic rock so much, where it's just like, I feel like that's what Mastodon, I mean, maybe they don't tend to go towards that, but like the really trippy, like LED walls coming on here and here, you know, and then Gojira just has like a super technical, like ambient vibe to it. I can grasp that more than I can grasp Mastodon stuff. Fortunately, we're do all right, and we are able to take care of things if it needs to happen, but things have obviously been like a little bit more expensive. You know, everything is already getting more expensive in general, and costs have always been rough. You know, when we were like, even like 2-3 years ago, it was hard to do, you know, anything. It's like, we want to get this, but we can't do that. We don't have the money for that. We were rocking a van, a really crappy van, like so bad. But it became home to all of us, you know, and that was like, and it was amazing. But, you know, looking back at it, I'm happy that we're out of there, you know. It's just, good things are happening. We're happy that it's happening, but I can still see, and I have a whole bunch of friends that are in the metal industry, and they tell me all the time things that just like that, and I'm just like, thank fucking God we escaped that somehow. But, yeah. So I definitely walk the fine line. I think TikTok is great. It's definitely, I don't use my TikTok at all. Like never. Unless I do like I'm posting something like, oh, I'm posting a video on YouTube, I'm gonna put it on TikTok too. So like, you know, people can, you know, network back and forth through all the social medias. But TikTok is a lot of work. If you're a really big TikToker, you are one of those people where you probably wake up and you're thinking about the video that you're going to do that day, and then the next video, or like 5 videos. I wake up in the morning not thinking about any of that at all. Like sometimes I'm like, I know maybe it's supposed to be organic when you come up with videos. I'm thinking too hard, and I'm just like, I can't come up with anything, I'm not gonna do anything. And that's why if you check my TikTok, everybody out there, you'll see that I've posted sometimes. I could have posted more, but it's a job, it's a full-time job, and I have everything else, and I'm just like, focus on what I know works for me, which is Instagram. That being said, I know so many people that have blown up from TikTok. We blew up from TikTok the first time, you know, and then I see a whole bunch of drummers and guitarists all the time. TikTok is a great platform, but not for me to use anyway. Oh, I love being invisible. You know, it's the best. I just came back from laying down in my bunk. Yeah, I was like, I'm gonna just relax for a little bit, you know. Sometimes when, you know, you play a bunch of shows, or in the beginning of the day, I might have an incredible amount of energy. And then I get off the stage, and then I'm like, oh man, I just need to drink some water and relax. So that's how I get for a little bit afterwards. Then I'll go socialize a little bit. But I love just playing my Switch, you know, my Nintendo Switch all day. If I could do that, that's what I would do. It's pretty cool. I'm not glad. I've never experienced anything like that. A part of it though, I will say, I get a little anxious sometimes, just like how everybody else would get anxious. Like sometimes having everybody's eyes on you is just like nerve-wracking, you know what I mean? And it's cool, and then it's sometimes you're just like, okay, I need to escape. You know what I mean? I need to go lay in my bunk and just escape everybody for an hour or two. So you can't be social all the time. And if you can, more power to you. But that ain't me. It actually was not. I have a bunch of other tattoos, and I'll say like things like my fingers were definitely worse than like the side of my head. I thought here's the side of my head, by the way. It's literally, I think the worst part was maybe behind the ear, but it wasn't terrible. And honestly, doesn't really represent anything. I just love flowers, and I love the design of, what's it called? It's called filigree, I believe, or filigree. Filigree, it's the style of tattooing. And I saw somebody do it on Instagram, and I was like, I follow 1,000 tattoo groups. This is sick. I want that on my head. And I got it. That's pretty much what it is. That would be sick. Oh yeah. One day we're gonna go around the whole freaking thing, but we're not there yet. Plenty of time. Yes, not on my face, but on the rest of my head, yeah. My mom would hate me. She'd be like, Will, why did you do that? She already hates that I got this. When I sent her a picture of the side of my head, I was like, Mom, I did something. Here you go. She replied saying, why? So, any further in here, I'm gonna be disowned completely. I was just like, when you do festivals and stuff, it's very, you could do more things, you know. You go, when you're playing like headliner shows, sometimes it does get like tiring. You're seeing the same bands all the time. And of course you always want to see them again and again, but you need to go escape. My escape, I get my Switch. I literally just play on my Switch, or I'll read. I do a lot of reading. I'll go to the bus and I'll just sit there and just read for hours. And that's how I do it. The good thing about being at festivals though, you never know who's playing. There's like 30 bands here, you know what I mean? Like I show up today, I'm like, wait, who's playing? Oh my God, this, I want to see those guys, you know what I mean? And then now I have something to do. So I always try and keep it exciting, but if I'm just ready to relax and just do something for myself, reading, or I play my games. Honestly, I really like Germany. Germany's really cool. I have a bunch of friends that live out there. I had a great time every single time I've been. I went for one of my friend's birthdays, actually, and I was just hanging out and just walking around and just seeing what everything was about. I was like, this is super cool. I like the vibe of it. We were in Berlin. I don't know if that changes anything, but every time that we're in Germany, I feel like everybody just loves metal, and everybody has a good time, and then we have a good time. You know, we have some things to say about, like, if we go to play like 10 shows in all these other countries, I'd be like, oh, that one wasn't as good as the rest of them. But every time I play in Germany, I'm like, always good. Oh, maybe. Let's go. I don't know anything about Czech Republic. I love the first one the most. I do get a lot of people that say that they love part 2. You know, that's theirs, their number 1. But for me, I love the first one because I just love the emotion. And I love that every time we play that song, I can look out at the crowd. That's you guys. And sometimes you guys are just sobbing. Like, just like, and I'm like, dude, I live for that because I want that. I want to give that feeling out to people. I want people to, like, you know, express this emotion. Maybe they would hold him back, and then our music finally gives it to them. And it's that one song, I feel like specifically, people just really, I mean, they love them all, but that one for me that's the one.